Welcome to the Registered Investment Advisor Podcast, where financial services marketing expert Seth Green interviews experts, executives, and top producers to share can't-miss tips on how they successfully manage their financial service firms, grow their businesses, create great relationships, and influence the industry. And now, here's your host, Seth Green.
Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Green. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Bob Hapanowicz of H&A, an awesome RIA we're going to learn about here that Bob founded more than 30 years ago to provide comprehensive financial advice, investment, and wealth management services. Bob, thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be here, Seth.
Let's go back in time a little bit. How did you get started in the industry?
Well, I started with a regional firm, cold calling. I've got a can opener that's about this tall. You can see it in the background here. And I was opening, 30 some accounts a month selling muni bonds, and but always came with a planning first approach with clients. So left Advest, left that sales environment, went to a smaller regional firm, graduated from that, and here we are today, full service wealth management.
Well, I'm sure the longer version of that journey could be in a book somewhere if it isn't already. What inspired you to switch and found H&A?
Yeah, well, the short answer is the underserved market that's available to all of us that are RIAs in the mass affluent. So the sort of the 2 to 25 million household net worth is where we operate best. And our tagline, Seth, is you don't have to be a Rockefeller or a Carnegie to be treated like one. And so our differentiator is our planning and our service, and we win a lot of business doing that. For example, this year, we've already brought in 53 million in new assets. Last year, north of 50 million. And it is because of what we deliver. We have all the tools that everybody else has, but we use them and we deliver what we call a differentiator. Everybody has a differentiator they think they do, and ours is how we treat people.
And where does that show up? How does a client on the receiving end know they're being treated differently? How do they know they're differentiated? Yeah.
So we treat them differently intellectually, emotionally, and digitally. Those are our three differentiators. So what we mean by that is with every client, they get a financial plan. We take the time to understand their vision, their priorities, goals, objectives. We articulate that in writing with them, review it periodically. We implement with investments. So that makes clients very, very loyal to H&A and us very, very loyal to them.
Now, what are you finding you've been in business a long time. How are folks finding you?
Yeah, so we have our business, we have 5 relationship managers. That's another word for advisor. We call them relationship managers or wealth managers. And so those folks are on the front line, boots on the ground, so to speak. And what we've done is we've eliminated all their administrative responsibilities. So they don't manage money. They don't do the financial planning. All they do is talk to centers of influence. They talk to their existing clients, and they talk to their future clients. And by taking all that administrative things away behind the scenes, now they can focus on clients and on relationships and get a lot of referrals that way. So we actually have a referral coach who coaches each of the RMs, each of the relationship managers. So they spend an hour or two a month with the referral coach, and that has been a huge benefit to H&A's growth and to their personal development.
That's incredible. So let me see if I understand that right, because it's a different model than most of the industry, right?
Yeah, we did it differently, yes.
So typically a IAR of an RIA or a financial advisor does everything, right? We might have an admin assistant, but we're creating the financial plan. We are managing the money. We might, if the client service request, if our assistant can't handle it, gets kicked to us. If I understood you correctly, you've offloaded the creation and monitoring the financial plans. You've offloaded the investment management. So literally they literally are a relationship manager. They're not doing
Right.
everything else as well.
We've put up a Chinese wall between operations and relationship management. And it's, Chinese wall can be breached, right? I mean, we have meetings all the time at H&A on Mondays and Thursdays to bridge the gap. But the objective is to have the relationship managers talk to people. That's what they're good at. Talk to future clients, talk with centers of influence, and talk to their existing relationships. Go meet them, spend a ton of time with them, and develop great relationships for those folks. That's what our RMs do. So interestingly, just as another note, the RMs at H&A, I share top line revenue with them. They are entrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs. They work within H&A to develop their relationships, and they share top line revenue with H&A. So as they retain and attract new business, their pay goes up. If they lose business, their pay goes down. It's that simple.
So they're literally on the same side of the table.
Correct. Yes.
You've
correct.
incentivized them, obviously.
Yes. They can make a lot of money here. Correct.
So then who handles, so do you talk a little bit about this, because that's more staffing that you
Yes.
need, right? As opposed to
Right.
the old model where the advisor does almost everything.
Right.
If you're having separate people do investment management, separate people do financial planning, talk a little bit about the team you've had to build to pull that all off, because that's a lot more people, right?
It is, yeah. So for each relationship manager, you have to have one person in support. That's the model. So we have a director of operations here at H&A, and everything that isn't relationship management, he supervises. So compliance, SEC stuff. We had an audit by the SEC last year. Trading, investments, everything else falls under operations, and the DO supervises and manages that. I have a weekly meeting with him. He sits in on 2 staff meetings. We have a catch-up phone call late Thursday afternoons to talk about whatever we need to talk about. And otherwise, he's running with the ball.
Because of the different type of the way you've set it up, how has that affected your recruiting, your hiring, and your training?
Yeah, we just hired a new RM in training this past Thursday evening. And I am currently looking for RMs over on the East Coast. We have a model that we can turn people onto, and with a specific target market. And I'd love to reach some RMs sort of in their mid-20s. Maybe they went through a wirehouse training program, they're not happy. I can turn them on and they can make a lot of money by following H&A's financial planning process, first and foremost, to a specific target market, Seth. And so I'm actively working with a couple of recruiting firms over in the East Coast now to build that out.
And then how do you educate the clients about how this is different?
It's interesting. In this target market, the clients, before they've met us in person or talked to us on the phone, most of these clients have viewed our YouTube page. We have a YouTube page with hours and hours and hours and hours of videos that we've created. And people, in fact, one of the videos today we filmed several months ago. We have 1,100 views for this specific target market. We're ecstatic over that. And I mean, you're doing the same thing. And so before people even see us in person, they have seen us on the video. So it's a warm introduction through the videos. We get a chance to audition, so to speak, through the videos that we do. We're subject matter experts. And because of that, people engage us. We're actually getting people calling us from around the country. We'll do financial planning via Zoom, and they retire with us and send us, $1 million, $2 million. It's pretty neat. And so we're looking for staff to expand that. Yep.
That is absolutely incredible. I mean, with all the success you've achieved, both for the firm and the clients, what's your biggest challenge now?
My biggest challenge, I'm the CEO of the firm, right? So I have 2 roles a CEO should have 2 roles. They should be allocating capital, money, right? To decide what to spend money on. They should also be allocating human capital, right? And, hiring people and putting them in the right seats on the bus, those kinds of things. So I'm spending a lot of time talking to future associates of H&A, both on the operations side and on the relationship management side. That's where I'm spending a ton of time, more than I've ever spent.
Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing now?
We operate in an underserved market. The person that's worth $2 million, I hate to say it this way, but they are a target. If they're not sophisticated, they're a target of salesmen. And we have a passion for providing planning and an assured outcome to folks. And that starts with a financial plan. Before we invest a nickel of your money, we want to articulate that plan with a high degree of certainty that that plan is going to work. And we think that's the foundation to growing the business, to serving more people, and having a great reputation, because your reputation is going to precede you. So we spend a lot of time doing that and just helping people. That's what we do. We just help people. And again, I'll go back to our tagline. You don't have to be a Rockefeller or Carnegie to be treated like one at H&A. The Rockefellers and the Carnegies get the very best financial planning. They get the very best legal advice and tax advice. You get that with H&A, even if you're just the millionaire next door.
Understood. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. For our folks watching or listening who want to learn more, where is the best place for them to go to learn more about H&A and all things Bob?
Yeah, so right to our website, Hapanowicz-associates.com. Also, you can call our phone number, 412-261-5966.
All right. Well, this has been Seth Green with Bob Hapanowicz. Bob, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Seth. Great to get to spend time with you.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.